considering educating the guys on the rivalry this week, or bringing in guests and all that? I mean, not all that, but doing anything special?
I don't know that we'll do anything special, but we will certainly let it be known that this is an important game to their fan base and our fan base, and same thing we did last year. So, and it's an important game to both fan bases, and certainly will go a long ways with both programs, determining on how good a non-conference season you have.
Not many things seem to surprise you because you see these guys every day, but Juan just turning into such a just a high-profile player. His assist to turnovers, he's more aggressive offensively. Just talk about all that.
Yeah, I think Juan's had a really good start to the year. I think he's got be candid with you, I think he's got a little careless defensively, reaching too much, gambling a little too much, putting himself in positions where he fouls more than he should. But yeah, he's off to a great start. And his numbers offensively are good, and I think they can continue to grow and get better as he looks to score more. But needless to say, we're really pleased with the start of his season.
Seemed like last year Christian was really revved up for the matchup. Is that something you kind of expect from DeJuan being from there?
I think, yeah, my question for Juan is not if he'll be revved up. My question is he too revved up? So, and that's the last thing you want. You want guys to be able to compete at the highest level, and competing at the highest level doesn't necessarily mean trying harder. It means focus and balance and being at that magic level where your energy, your focus, your concentration, are kind of at that peak where it allows you to perform the best. And sometimes emotionally, if we get too charged up, it leads to not performing as well. So I just want him to be him rather than him worrying about trying to play well because he's from Columbia.
Juan just gave his perspective on his recruitment, and if Missouri was ever an option for him. Just what do you remember about his recruitment, and did you ever feel like you were going up against Missouri?
No, I didn't. Juan's recruitment was not really a recruiting story for us. He signed with Missouri State and didn't qualify. So that's we became interested in him after he signed with Missouri State and didn't qualify. So therefore, he was either going to go junior college, or we'd have to figure out a way, if he wanted to come here, how to make it where he could be a partial qualifier. And so that was when he was no longer eligible, or was going to be eligible at Missouri State. That's when we got involved. So Missouri was never, at least to my knowledge, never a factor in recruiting against us. Now, they may have been a factor out of high school, but we didn't get one, theoretically out of high school. We got him after he had signed with another school.
They're a totally different looking team than they were last year's.
A lot better.
Is that easier or harder to prepare for, or you just treat it like another team that you've never seen?
I don't think that we really can go much off of what happened last year in this game. I thought last year we were prepared to play the game, but totally different personnel. They started a 7-2 guy last year. Wilmore, is that right? And then they were bigger. They didn't play Kobe at the 5 near as much. Now they're kind of playing him kind of a hybrid 5 along with Carter. So it's a different team. A lot of portal guys with experience that's really made them better. So Coach Gates has done a great job in a short amount of time. He and his staff, and I'm sure got the place, enthused and creating some energy and getting ready for their conference season as well. But I don't really think we're going to get much off of last year's tape.
Yeah, personnel-wise, the two teams match up pretty well, don't they? I mean,
with our starters and their starters,
correct, yeah.
Our standing height is pretty similar.
Right.
So yeah, I do think that there's some matchups similarities, but also how you're going to guard. To me, even though he's not their leading scorer, how you're going to guard Brown is real important because he can put a lot of guys in foul trouble because he's so good at driving the ball.
What do you do with their pace? Do you try to match it? Do you want to play fast like they've done all year?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever shied away from playing fast at all. I think the thing about that you want to do, you want to play fast and you also want to play efficiently. So a lot of times they force a pace which is a good strategy in that teams are playing a little faster than maybe what they want to play, and sometimes teams can forget about how you score the easiest and you try to score on the first, semi-open look and things like that. So we certainly want to play fast, but I think it's real important that we play a way that gives us a chance maybe to get an easy basket every now and then, because if you get caught up and just trying to play at the same pace they do and we bail out the defense by shooting the first semi-open shot, I think it could be obviously a long night or afternoon, and that's what defenses are designed to do, is just make you play out of character a little bit, and they're certainly really good at getting people to do that.
We just asked Juan about what he expects to feel or think when he walks in there. And I wonder the same for you. I mean, you've had some moments over there, and it's been a while.
Yeah.
Are you worried about that? Are you excited about that? Any of that stuff?
Worried about
Just going back in there and the memories and all that, experiencing that again.
I don't know that I've had a ton of bad memories over there. We've got our butt beat over there, but I mean that happens in sports. I mean, you win some and you don't win some. So no, I'll look forward to it. I love good atmospheres, and this will certainly be as good an atmosphere I would anticipate as we could possibly play against or play in all year long.
To build off that, how do you feel like the freshmen and guys that are taking a step forward, how do you feel like they'll react to the atmosphere?
I think we'll be fine. I think what happens a lot is we think that we're pretty cool until you actually play with live bullets. And so you go to the Garden. Yeah, that's an away game. No, that wasn't an away game. Or you go to Indy. I forgot where we played because I wasn't at the game. So you go to Indy, and those aren't live bullets. You go to the Bahamas, even though it's a neutral site game, there's 50% of the people are still cheering for you. This is their first taste of what it's like to play a true road game. And if you're going to play a true road game, sometimes it's better to kind of ease into that. Like last year, our first true road game, if I'm not mistaken, was at St. John's. Even though it wasn't a true road game, it was a home crowd for them, and so you're kind of able to ease into it because they played in a neutral site that was off campus, if I'm not mistaken. So this is different. This is like going right into the hornet's nest and getting able to experience that right off the bat. So it will be different. Yeah, in a perfect world, I would say it'd be nice kind of ease into these situations, but that's not the way the schedule is set up.
And I'm curious with Cam too. I think you said last night that he's available.
Yeah, he's available.
What do you look at his role, acclimation? How do you think that's going to go?
I think it'll go good or go well. I just don't know how much of a role he'll have immediately. But he's been healthy and pretty good in practice and those sorts of things. But he hasn't done anything in 4 or 5 weeks. So just putting him out there and everything. I don't know how comfortable he'll be immediately, and that's kind of a tough situation just to get thrown in. But I think he'll do fine. I think when guys get hurt and they come back after extended period of time, I don't think we should look at how does he help us win this next game. I think you look at it, hey, will he be in rhythm by conference season and all that stuff? And I think the answer will be yes. But hopefully that rhythm comes immediately. But I don't know that you can always bank on that.
Bill, in your 20 years here, I'm sure you've heard from so many former players and even alumni on what this game means to them and maybe past stories, and then of course 10 years being actively involved. How would you just describe any unique quality of the Kansas-Missouri rivalry?
Well, Missouri-Illinois is a good rivalry. I thought there was a little bit of respect in that rivalry. With Kansas-Missouri, from a fan standpoint, I don't know if there's as much respect as there is just flat out dislike or hate. And I think that's what makes it a great rivalry. I don't think that you could have Larry Brown or Norm Stewart or Roy Williams or Quinn Snyder or obviously Coach Gates, myself, enjoy a rivalry as much if it didn't have those type of emotions involved. So that's good, but it's different. Like when we play K-State, it is a rival. Don't get me. I'm not saying anything about that. That's taken away from the rivalry, but it doesn't feel quite the same as the historical rivalry that's existed between Missouri and Kansas, going way back before the universities were even, had basketball programs. So it's different. It's different, and you know Dave far better than me, playing for Coach Fambro, and obviously Missouri would know far better than any of us playing. Guys that play for Coach Stewart. I'll never spend a dime in that state. That type of mindset created such interest and emotion that made it what it is. So I think that's what makes it special and good. So, and I'm sure it'll be full of all those things on Saturday.
Last time we talked to you in here, you were looking forward to practice and getting some time to practice. How's it gone? Did you get what you wanted out of it?
We haven't yet, but we still got 2 more days. But we haven't yet. But yeah, it's gone okay. It's gone okay. We got a chance to rest a little bit and try to tighten a few things up. And what we tried to tighten up, hadn't got quite tightened yet. But we still got a couple more days.
I also wanted to ask you about the news about Grady signing it with Adidas. I just wonder how significant that is for one of your guys and a big brand like that, and just the NIL experience that he's getting. And you've talked about him being maybe one of the more marketable type of guys on your whole roster even before he got here.
Well, I think he and Jalen, without question, are the 2 most marketable guys.
Right.
And Jalen because of success in the past and coming back. And I would put Juan right up there, probably just under those 2 as far as marketable. But it's great. We want all our guys to get as much as they possibly can. And I think it's probably a good situation for Grady. Hopefully it's a good situation for Adidas. I have nothing to do with that or anything like that going on. But we want our guys to benefit as much as they possibly can. So, I think it's positive. If I'm not mistaken, Nike has signed some kids across America. Adidas, I don't believe signed but 4, if I'm not mistaken. 2 of them from Indiana,
Right.
A freshman in the course of preseason All-American. I think it's good to be one of those guys. The biggest thing is, does it create a problem with anybody else? And from what I've seen and felt so far, there hasn't been any issues on one guy getting something that somebody else doesn't. I think we should all be happy for whatever we get, and so far that's been the feeling in the locker room.
Could Bobby play, and how's the team's health?
I think this is the healthiest we've been in a while. We're not going to have obviously Kyle, but other than that, and Wilder had surgery to repair a stress fracture yesterday or Monday, excuse me. But other than that, I think we're pretty healthy. Bobby should go unless he has a setback today or tomorrow. He should be available.
In the history of the rivalry, there have been some wild things. Have you received any antler phone calls? Or the players?
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask the players that. But so far, my unlisted number has not been found out unless one of you guys pass it along to somebody. So I think that it's been pretty good so far.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.